Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new Idle Huntress video. So today's video is going to cover Isis, the newest of the Season 3 Huntresses. I'm going to say that is going to be, Season 3 is going to cover any Huntress that is going to be after Iori, and then I'm going to throw SS Iori with Season 2 just because, you know, that'll be interim. But everybody else essentially with pets is going to be Season 3. So everyone from here on out, Season 3. Hope that's clear. I just, you know, Season 2 is too big for it to continue on. Besides that, we're going to cover the Tea Party event. We're going to have the usual top up, spend crystals, get the coins, and then spend money and get more coins. The great thing about this event is that we actually have an exchange shop. Unlike other events where it's just been that crappy minigame, we have a crappy minigame on top of an exchange shop, so yay! On top of crappy rewards, the Harmonious Organ event, just absolute baloney. First person only gets the red dragon, which you're going to dismantle for the essence anyway. Just a complete sham. It's just a bad event. On the daily login, just piece of crap, you know, 3 or 30 chance plus tickets, yes. Milestones, crappy again. I don't know what we expect, right? Spending anywhere near that amount of money to get anything worth it, that be, you know, the light dark shards, so we can hoard for Dracula because she's pretty spicy. But everything besides that, just absolutely abysmal in terms of, hey, congrats, you spent like $2,000. Here's a little chance plus tickets, right? But here we have the minigame. Here we have the awful block matching game, which we've seen before. I forget what holiday it was, but, you know, match 3 cards, get rid of the board. Every time you level up to the next stage, it'll add different characters to make it harder, right? And for the rewards, you get the title. If you're bored and have time, go for it. It's not, like, awful, but it is not worth your time if you know, have something else to do. The permit, you have the $15 golden light dark dragon if you wanted to get that, just so that you could have Caesar doing anything. Not Caesar, my bad. If you have Arthur doing anything. And then for the $50 one, you get 1 copy of Isis, which I don't think is worth it unless the game, you know, is rigging your rolls to not get it, which you'll see, you know, we definitely have to use a copy shard or the Omni shards, which, if you think about it, is only $25. So it's half of that stupid pass for the other pass. So I recommend you don't spend that $50 to get that pass. If it was 2 copies, maybe, and I think actually, yeah, that would be worth it. But in this case, it's only 1, so neither. You know, and unless you're really, really wanting that dragon or those coins or those crystals, it's not worth it. Here in the event shop, we have you know, your usual rewards. Get what you need, what materials you're trying to push for, be that steel, or that iron, or just mats in general, you know, chests or E materials, you name it. Just get what you need. I don't really need to tell you what to get. With that out of the way, we can move on to the Isis showcase. Her first skill, Dance of Water. At level 1, increases physical damage boost by 10% for 4 turns, also heals herself for 20% of the sum of the surviving allies' HP. Excess healing increases max HP, but cannot exceed 50% of max HP each time. The max HP gained in each battle does not exceed 10 times her initial HP. At level 2, increase the physical damage boost to 20% and then to 40%. The damage boost is very great for Iori. Hopefully, we'll see whether or not this is going to change the meta in the PvP, if this is going to replace, you name it, I don't know. But also, the HP is just going to keep stacking until she just can't get any more. So the more HP you have on the team, the more HP she's going to keep. As well as this is going to help stack on her Ultra skill that we're going to see. For her ultimate, we have Water Begets Blood. At level 1, loses 10% of her current HP and deals the same amount of physical damage twice to all enemies. Increases ally bookworms hit by 100% for 2 turns. This is going to include herself, Medusa, and Hattori. At level 2, HP loss increases to 15%, and bookworm hit at 150%. Level 3, 20%, and then 200%. This is kind of, I mean, this is good because she's doing AoE, and she's just going to scale her HP, but depending on, you know, can we heal the HP she just lost, as well as she is going to keep scaling the HP that she has from the rest of her team from that first skill we just read off. The, weirder thing is that the increased hit is kind of just null. Hattori doesn't need hit, period. She just doesn't do damage unless she's in that transformation and, does her ultimate in it, I think. With the percentage, I don't know. It's just, you're going to be helping Medusa. That's pretty much it. And then Isis herself when she does ult. So it is, I don't know if it gets applied before she lands or after she lands. I guess we can analyze that, or you guys can make that distinction down in the comments. Her first passive, Water and Blood, at level 1 at the start of battle, immediately establishes Blood Link with an enemy, prioritizing targets that are in the same location as Isis, just like the mirror side, right? Now, what Blood Link is going to do is that when she takes damage, the linked enemy is going to take 20% of that damage. Since this is not a debuff, it can't be dispelled and will go away when she dies. The linked enemy is going to be replaced with a random enemy when that said enemy dies. You can't choose who it's going to jump back onto, right? And now, at level 2, the damage is going to be reflected to 30%, and at level 3, 50%. Not a reflection, my bad. It's just going to be a mirrored damage, just like Loki does with the 1-to-1. And the funny thing is that because Isis now has a pet and just UR and general stats and whatever stat inflation, she's by far a better Loki. She's not taking 50% of that damage that she would be taking. So especially if it's like, say you got it on Iori, right? And then Iori is able to take damage this turn. So post turn 5, she'll be only taking half of that damage, and then the other half goes right back to Iori or any said character, right? That'd be Zhao or you name it, Medusa, right? But Medusa's pretty much just gonna die if she can be taken, if she can take damage. But overall, still pretty good skill. Next is her stat passive, Benevolence. At level 1, Isis is Kinda Determined, increases her HP by 15% and crit by 3%. At level 2, 20 and 4%, and at level 3, 25 and 5%. HP and crit, always nice. You're not going to be seeing too many crits happening just because she's only attacking twice, period. Everything else is just healing, stacking, and that damage reflection, which I don't think you can crit a damage reflect, but I guess if we'd see it, we'd see it. You guys can make a note of it in the comments, but HP, always nice. Her exclusive equipment, Water for Water, that's a dumb name. At level 1, hit up 3%, level 2, final damage up 4%, level 3, HP up 25%, and at level 4, EE 30, whenever Isis takes damage from an enemy's active action, so anything, she recovers 5% of her HP, and then at level 5, 10% of max HP, at level 6, 15% of max HP. So as long as you are going as high as you can, you're going to be able to trade said damage, depending on who's doing that damage, but let's just say that you have that EE 50, which is what you're going to want to book it for. You're going to be able to, one, take 50% less damage, so you're only taking half of that much damage, and you're even healing up another 15% of her max HP. So you're going to be trading a lot better, if not out healing said damage and just keeping Isis in the fight. Next is her UR skill, Treading Water. At level 1, after allies whose HP is below 10% takes an action, Isis removes self debuffs and casts Water Begets Blood once, triggering up to 2 times per turn. This is going to be her ultimate skill. She's going to be able to ult twice per turn. This is going to be fantastic if you're pairing her with Medusa, which even the pet skill, which we'll get into, is going to synergize very well. So as long as Medusa has that below that 10 HP, which she's going to do to herself, she's just going to be able to reproc herself because she's got that counter mechanic, and Isis is going to deal additional AoE damage to that entire team. Last but not least, her pet skill, Protection. At level 1 at the start of the 4th turn, the Sacred Ibis links Isis with allies for 1 turn, during which allies are immune to fatal damage. The immunity cannot be dispelled, and 10% of the damage taken is restored as HP to Isis. Level 2, 20%, level 3, 30%, level 4 restores 40%, and at level 5, Isis now links with allies at the start of the 4th and 5th turns. This is fantastic because now she is going to ensure Medusa stays alive an extra 2 turns. As soon as she removes her immunity after, well, essentially on turn 4, she can just be tapped, and then she's done so. But now she's going to be staying alive at the 4th and 5th turns, because at the start of the turn, she doesn't have to be fast. Isis doesn't have to be fast to even proc this so that Medusa stays alive. As long as she's, as long as Isis is on the team still and not dead, Medusa is going to be providing a massive amounts of death rays for another 2 turns as long as she's still, kicking. But this is great. You know, get it to level 200 if you can afford to do that. You don't even need speed. Like I told you, you don't even need any stars on that pet. The stars on that pet are going to make sure that Isis has more health to stay alive longer and doing more damage and stacking that. And, you know, the whole kit is just stack HP. But definitely the pet is very useful if you can afford to get it. So for badges and runes, we're going to go 4 green, and then yeah, you just go HP. That's it. You just need HP. Speed doesn't matter because everything that she needs to apply applies at the beginning of any turn, automatically at the start of any turn. That's how it says on all of her skills. So as long as she has HP, she's good to go. What you can do in addition is building the final damage reduction, or the the anti-crit, right? So the tenacity, right, to make sure that she's not being crit. So that can also be good, but definitely final damage is the only other idea I think you could give her. Dodge doesn't really need to, dodge doesn't matter because she needs to be taking damage to heal that damage, as well as to even reflect that damage to the opponent that has the blood link with her. But definitely just speed. Just HP, my bad. HP. So however you can get more HP on her is ideal. That's pretty much it. She's just a tank that's healing and doing damage based on the damage she takes and then healing it. I don't know how else to describe it. That's that straightforward, right? Essentially, if you can afford to get her and max her, that's great. You want to get her, but if you don't have Medusa, it's definitely a pass. You want to get Medusa before you get Isis, as well as the immunity is great, but you need a lot of materials to make the most out of her, that being a level 200 pet, EE 50 preferably, so that's a lot of EE materials, and then just the money to even unlock her to get her to 6-star. I know everybody at this point is you got a 6-star or else it's pointless. That's just how it is, especially with the UR stats. So you get that UR skill when you get them to 6-star, and so on and so on. I know it's just high elo is just so ridiculous. It's that you have to max them just to even compete. So I don't know how it goes for lower elos anymore. You guys in the comments feel free to add that in terms of what that play looks like now. But definitely, if you don't have Medusa, no point in getting Isis. If you don't have Nero and Set and then the trio that is the fire Exodius, if you don't have Charlemagne, if you don't have Mordred, don't worry about Isis. Isis is there on the list, but definitely isn't a priority, that to say the least. But overall, yeah, I guess that covers it. I do apologize about the quality of the combat footage here. It's not your phones. It is definitely the recording I took because I had to do it on the move. I was traveling a bit, but definitely I've got a new way to record it natively to make sure that it's always at least 1080 or 4K. So I'm working on that. But the earlier footage you saw, it was pretty bad on the contrast. So I'm working with how to fix that on that recording, but at least the quality looked okay. But just a lot of R&D on my end, as well as making more time to make the merch for the channel so I can afford to keep making these videos, and then doing a bit of rebranding. So that was just a bit of a late update overall on the channel and its performance. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like down below. And yeah, that covers it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.